Welcome to another Fast Tips video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I am your instructor, Richard Rost. In today's video, I'm going to show you a little data entry tip. How to set a default value on your form so as you're entering multiple records, it'll use that value for the new records. This way, for example, if you're entering a bunch of people from Florida, you don't got to keep typing in Florida for every customer. Okay, this question comes up every so often. Let's say you've got some data entry to do, and you got to enter a bunch of new customers. Let's say you went to a trade show or a farmer's market or wherever you get your leads from, and you got to enter like 20 new customers, and like 18 of them are from the same state, or pick any other value here. So as I'm entering in my new records down here, right, Joe Smith, I don't want to have to type in Florida for each one of them. And of course, Florida is just 2 characters, but you got some larger default value, you know, something big like a city name maybe. All right, you don't want to have to type that in for everybody. So how can we set up a field up top that'll act like a default value for new records? Now you can set a default value in the table or in the form field, but then that's always the same thing. You can't easily change that. This allows the user to change it when they open up the form. So all we're going to do really easily is just go to Design View here, and I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Let's drag down the header section and move these labels down like that. Now I'm going to copy the state text box. Copy, Control C, click up here in the header and paste, Control V. That puts a copy of it up there. Okay. Now this guy is still bound to the state field, so it's going to have the data in there from that record in the table. So we need to unbind that. All right. So go to Data and get rid of the control source. Just delete that. That way, this box can hold its own value. It doesn't get saved anywhere. It's not bound to a table field, but it's just a box on the form that you can put something in. All right, next, let's give it a good name. Go to All. Let's call this my state default. And you can give the default value box a default value. So go to Data, and then down to default value here. Whatever you're going to type in the most, you figure, okay, I'm in Florida, so you figure most customers I enter are going to be in Florida, so I'll put that in there. So that's going to be the starting default value for the default value box. Make sense? Okay. Now, I want to tell this state field to get its default value from the default value box. So here in default value, I'm going to type in equals state default. And there it is. And Access will put it inside of square brackets for you. Here, I'll zoom in so you can see that. Okay? Equals state default. All right. So in turn, this guy is going to start out at Florida, and this guy, for every new record, is going to default to whatever is in this guy. Make sense? All right. Let's save it, close it, open it up again. All right. So my default value is Florida. I'm going to go to a new record, and look at that. It starts off at Florida. All right, I'll type in Joe Smith. And look, the next record already is coming in at Florida. All right, Peter Smalls, Florida. So I don't have to type it in. I just tab right past it. All right, Bill Watson. Now, if you want to change that, you can change it on the fly. Let's say I got a bunch of New Yorkers now. So I'm going to come up here and put in New York. Now, it won't change immediately for the next record, so you're going to have to type in New York one more time. But members, I'll show you a way around that in the extended cut. All right, so now I'll type in here, Rick Jones, and you can see now you got to put in the New York there, but the next record as it comes in is New York. So now you're ready to enter a bunch of New Yorkers in here, right? Like Phil Smith, whatever. All right, another person, and so on. Okay, see how that works? Every time it adds a new record, it just gets whatever default value is up there. You could do the same thing with related fields, like with a combo box. For example, let's say you've got contacts here. If you're not familiar with my Tech Help database, by the way, every customer can have multiple contacts. A contact is every time that you talk to this person. And normally, this form gets its default value from this form. But let's say you want to enter in a bunch of contacts, and you don't want to have to open up each customer's record. You could take this contact form, and instead you could throw a combo box on here for the customer. So instead of having the customer ID there, right, we can delete that and drop a combo box on here. So let's go to Form Design. and find the combo box right there. I'll drop it over here. All right, look up the values from a table or query. I'm going to get my list of values from my query that has the customer last name, first name put together. If you haven't watched my blank template video where I build this, go watch that. I'll put a link down below. I think this is in the contact management part, which is part 2. Next, what fields do you want? Well, we'll bring them both over. We got the ID and the last name, first name. We're going to sort by last name, first name. It's going to look like this. We got to hide that customer ID field. I go over all this, by the way, in my relational combo box video. I'll put a link to that down below, too, if you've never done this before. Next, what field has the value you want? Well, that's the customer ID. Next, we're going to store that value in the customer ID field on the contact form, right? Next, what label do you want? We're going to delete it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Hit finish. There's our combo box. I'm going to delete that label. I'm going to move some things around here. We're going to slide these boxes to the right, and then we're going to grab that customer and drag it over here to the left. Now, I don't want it to say customer ID for the box name. In fact, it probably is, yep, combo 8. So we're going to change that. We're going to come up top here, and instead of combo 8, we're going to call that the customer combo. All right, slide this bottom up. We got to drag these guys to the right. And we're going to make one more. We're going to copy that, copy, paste, slide it over here. That's going to be the customer. That's just a label, right? It goes up top. And then, of course, we got to change our tab order. All these little things, right? Tab order, auto order. There we go. Okay, so now we got the form where we need it to be. Okay, so I can show you what we're doing here. All right, so if I open up the contact form, now this is what it looks like. Okay, you got all your customers here, and your date and time, and then the notes. And it should still work from here if you open up this guy. Yep. But we could change the default value to get it from the form if we want to. But I'm going to do something different. We're going to make the default value using a header field like we just did a minute ago. All right, so right-click, Design View, make the header a little bit bigger, drag the stuff down, right? All right, we're going to copy this combo box. Copy, paste up top here. We're going to call this guy customer default or customer ID default. Let's keep it consistent. Customer ID default. Okay. Now, if you want to, you could set this guy's default value to equals forms customer F customer ID. That way, if the customer form is open, this guy will get its value from that form. But if not, it just won't have anything in there. Save it. Close it. All right. Open up the customer form. Now, if I open up contacts, look at that. It's defaulting to Richard Rost. Okay. Now we're going to change this guy's default value to this guy, just like we did in the other form. All right. So this is customer ID default. This will be, where's the default value? Right there, right? Equals customer ID default. Okay, see how everyone's pointing at everybody else. What do you got? What do you got? What does he got? What do you got? Right? All right, let's check it out. Contacts, look at that. Boom. And now I'm ready just to put in a bunch of extra contacts here, right? Stuff. And if you want to, if you're going to be entering in a bunch of contacts, I mean, contacts is kind of silly, but if you're entering a bunch of orders or tickets or anything else, right? Now we can come in here, we can do something like this. We can say click on this and click on that and make them not tab stops. Right? Say no on the tab stops there. Now, when I save that, when I come back into here, I'm just, right here, you just go tab, tab, tab. You go right down the list, right? Another one, right? More, okay? Now, same trick. You want to change who the customer is for the next record. Let's put Deanna Troy in there, okay? And it saved it right away. So that tells me, since this record went dirty, that tells me I forgot a step. And I'm leaving this in the video intentionally so that you don't make the same mistake. What did I forget to do? When I copied this record, I didn't unbind it. All right, see, the control source is still set to customer ID. That means if you change this, it's going to change the record you're on. We want to delete that control source and leave that combo box unbound. Okay? And yes, I like to leave my mistakes in the videos because if I make that mistake, chances are you're going to make that mistake. All right, so let's close it. Let's go back and do the same thing. Let's go right here to this form. All right, come down to the bottom. There's Deanna Troy. Let's set her as the default value up here. Where's Troy? Deanna, right? Okay. Stuff. And then, yeah, see, she's not coming in for this one because that value wasn't set when the form opened. So we got to manually set that one too. But now we're all set to go and type in a bunch of Deanna records. Okay. So it works with either a text box or a combo box or a checkbox or whatever you want to use for that. Is that some cool stuff? Did you learn something new? All right, so extended cut for the members. What we're going to do is we're going to go back to this customer list. All right, a couple things. First of all, as I mentioned earlier, right, when I change this to, let's say, Texas, okay, this guy doesn't immediately change. It's going to require some programming, a little bit of 2 lines of VB code. I'll show you how to do that in the extended cut. And I'm going to also show you how to go the other way. If you're down here typing in your records and you change this, it'll change that too. So let's say you got to enter in a bunch of New Yorkers, then go straight into Florida, it'll change the default value. All right, so if I come in here and I type in PA for Pennsylvania, right, it goes right to Pennsylvania in the next one. I could type in a couple more people, right, for Pennsylvania. All right, and if I change it to Texas, it'll now update to Texas, and now we're ready to enter in Texas. Okay. And then I want to do, let's see, this guy is going to be a New Yorker again. Bam, right back to New York. And yeah, you got to requery the form, so that's why it seems like it jumps back down to the bottom. But I think it's pretty cool. So that'll be covered in the extended cut for the members. All right, so we got 2 things we're going to be doing, members. We got instantly change the new records default if you change the default box. And the second thing we're going to do is we're going to change the default record box if you change the value in a new record. Make sense? Okay. All right, I'm glad everyone's with me. I hope you learned something and live long and prosper. And I'll see you next time. Oh, and I almost forgot to say that silver members and up get access to all of the extended cut videos for the tech help videos and the fast tips. And yeah, fast tips have extended cuts too sometimes. It all depends on what I feel like doing that day. Okay, see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free, and click on the bell icon to select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Make sure you click the Show More link down below the video to find additional resources and links. You'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted, so if you'd like to get an email every time I post a video, click on the link to join my mailing list. Even if you don't want to become a member, feel free to donate to my tip jar. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got puppies to feed. How do you become a member? Click on the Join button below the video. After you click the Join button, you'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks. Silver members and up will get access to all of my extended cut tech help videos, 1 free beginner class each month, and more. Gold members get access to download all of the sample databases that I build in my tech help videos, plus my code vault, where I keep tons of different functions that I use. You'll also get a higher priority if you decide to submit any tech help questions to me, and you'll get 1 free expert class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks, plus even higher priority for tech help questions, access to all of my full beginner courses for every subject, and 1 free developer class each month after you finish the expert classes. These are the full-length courses found on my website, not just for Access too. I also teach Word, Excel, Visual Basic, and lots more. You can now become a Diamond sponsor and have your name or company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown in each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. But don't worry, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. Now, if you have not yet tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access. It's over 4 hours long, and I just updated it for 2021. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll include a link below that you can click on. And also, if you like level 1, level 2 is just $1. Yep, that's all, $1, and it's free for all members of my YouTube channel at any level, even supporters. Want to have your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my tech help page on my website. You can send me your question there. While you're on my site, feel free to stop by the Access Forum. Lots of good conversations happening there. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course, YouTube. Once again, my name is Richard Ross. Thank you for watching this tech help video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something today. I'll see you again soon.